views and opinions in the following show do not necessarily reflect that of this station or its ownership. Producing your own podcast?
Welcome to the Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk on WCGO 1590 AM or 95.9 FM. We're going to have a very good show today. We have two great special guests. First and foremost, happy belated Father's Day to all the great dads out there, all the great dads in heaven. Happy Father's Day, and also happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. In Galveston, Texas, on June 19, 1865, General Gordon Granger issued a General Order No. 3 to further inform residents of and enforcing Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which set all Confederate states free on January 1st, 1863. And of course, the 13th Amendment solidified the end of slavery on February 1st, 1865. President Abraham Lincoln approved the joint resolution of Congress submitting the proposed amendment to the state legislatures. The necessary number of states, 3/4, ratified it by December 6, 1865. That's a beautiful thing, okay? And also, that's a little bit of history, and this is even more that our listeners needs to know a little bit about history. Since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative, has a long history of discrimination. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the Ku Klux Klan, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Acts of the 1950s and 60s. In contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party. Its mission to stop spread of slavery into the new Western territories with the aim of abolishing it entirely, which, of course, slavery was ultimately abolished by the first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln. Great man, my favorite president of all time. And I don't know if any of you remember, but we had two issues last year with statues, huge issues, actually a crime when you think about it. Two instances of Abraham Lincoln statues that were defaced, pathetic, by Black Lives Matter lunatics. Defaced Lincoln Park West early October, and then Edgewater Center Park was defaced late in November. I'm going to introduce to you Al, who is the 3rd Ward GOP Committeeman. Al, what do you hear? What do you say?
How you doing, Pat? Thanks for having me on the show today. And the city of Chicago is in a crisis situation with the crime and people running out of here, moving out of the city. And it's only going to get worse as the economy goes downhill, as we have no manufacturing. We got nothing good to look forward to as people start moving out. And it's time for conservative people to get up off their couch and start taking action, as times will only get worse. If we sit back and do nothing, it'll be a country that we won't recognize 20 years from now.
Amen. It's going to turn into a third world country.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's going to turn into. And Chicago, I have to say, it's turning into a cesspool with 55 shootings over Father's Day weekend. 55 shootings. Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to introduce to you our other guest. His name is John from the United States Postal Service. Hey, John, what do you hear? What do you say?
Oh, hi, Patrick. Thank you for having me. I just want to say that I like your radio station, and I value conservative ideals, and I think that things have to change in the country and also locally, and I've been in Chicago for many years, and I've seen Chicago change and the whole county change and the state. And I think it has gotten worse actually in the last 20 years. And I think that we need better people in charge, and we need more honesty and integrity in politics. among certain politicians, and I just would like things to be more fair and more just more fair.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. And it's hard to have anything that's fair with these rigged elections. That's left and right. We have rigged elections, as you know. In my opinion, our last presidential election was rigged. Um, Tell us a little bit about your political history, Al.
Well,
Speaking of rigged,
yeah, my political history started in, I'd say I started getting more interested in it the day President Donald Trump came down the escalator in 2015. I had a screen printing company then. And as I noticed like a lot of manufacturing for apparel and stuff like that was coming from out of the country, and it was a problem for basically manufacturing, because you take out the manufacturing and then you lose employees, you lose money, and then once he got into office, it showed like it showed that we got to bring manufacturing back to America and get people working, and that's how we can jumpstart our economy.
amen.
And pretty much after that, I joined the Assyrian GOP, and we started doing candidate forums where we had like the governor candidate forums, state representatives, and we just started doing events like that, and we're planning on doing more events like that to get the Assyrian GOP to grow. And then we started moving on, and I attempted to run for alderman in the third ward, and that's the South Loop, Bronzeville, and unfortunately I got kicked off the ballot. But it was a good learning experience. I had almost about 700 signatures, and I collected the signatures in about 10 days or less. So, in order to win, you gotta get up off the couch and put in some work. We can't win these seats sitting down or just waiting on expecting President Trump to do everything or other politicians to do everything. We gotta hold these politicians accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to take action is the main thing. You don't take action, you'll get the same results we've been getting for the last 20, 30 years or 50 years in Chicago.
Sure.
I mean, around Mayor Daley, crime was down, but I mean, I'm not going to say corruption, but he ran the city pretty good, and I don't think he'd stand for this crime that's going on now. We got graffiti everywhere. Along the highways, around the
No, he even
everywhere.
said shoot to kill.
Yeah,
Right. They got out of hand.
and like as Dr. Willie Wilson said, you got to take the handcuffs off the cops and put them on the criminals. Till you do that,
Right.
it's only gonna get worse. So, in my opinion, more good citizens, they should get their concealed and carry license. To
Amen.
protect themselves, protect your family, because it's only going to get rough around with this mayor that we got in office right now. And he's not a Chicago guy. He's from Elgin, so nothing against Elgin, but if you're in Chicago, you should be a mayor that's born and raised from Chicago, so you know what's going on in the city itself. Other than that, it's like complete chaos, and the summer's not even here yet. We're in the first few weeks of warm weather, so
No, Al, we're just warming up. 55 shot.
yeah, 55 shot. The
Not
prior
counting Willowbrook.
Yeah.
Willowbrook was 23 shot, one dead.
yeah, the prior week was 60, and then Memorial Day weekend was another 60. So we're almost at 200, and it's half the year.
Right.
So it's gonna be a long, hot summer. So
Under this mayor, Bozo Johnson, I call him,
yeah,
the crime went up 38% in 1 month.
yeah.
1 month under Bozo Johnson. John, mail carriers are getting robbed left and right. This is insane.
Yes, well, I think they need more protection, and I think it's just my opinion that they need more protection. They need more. They need someone to watch them. Law enforcement.
Sure.
I think that they should not. Yeah, I just think they need more protection. They need they shouldn't be on their own out there. And there's some areas that are very dangerous, and there are criminals out there trying to steal their keys and get access to other mailboxes. So it's definitely a problem, from my opinion. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. And also, too, a couple of years ago, the United States Postal Service, they used to have their police, the postal police, follow mail carriers on their routes. They took that away. And now everybody knows about it. It's free information.
Yes.
It's an invitation for the criminal element to do what they can, to steal someone else's check. It's insane. Why would you cut something like that? I don't understand that. Okay? And I work for the post office too, and I have a right to complain about that.
Yes.
I feel my brothers and sisters at the United States Postal Service need security.
Yes.
They absolutely need it. It's essential. If not, like you said, Al, conceal carry. Some sort of security, okay? When you go to areas, I'm going to say it, Austin, Inglewood, I mean, especially when you have to deliver the mail at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, because, you were caught up with another route or whatever the case may be. Those are very dangerous areas, and there needs to be some sort of cohesive plan to assist mail carriers, in the future, because we're just starting. Summer's just starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even the 21st.
And it's all around the country. It's in every state.
Right.
All over. Yes.
Yeah.
All blue states.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by accident.
I can smell the ugly Bruce.
You're right. Absolutely.
You got to hold your leadership accountable.
Well-
You vote these people in, and they stay there for 10, 20 years, some of them even 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no accountability.
Yes. And you're right about law enforcement. They have their handcuffs on. They can't
Yeah.
really do their jobs because they're afraid that the leadership doesn't have their backs. So they're afraid of getting sued, or they're afraid of having someone record them on their phone. So they're extra careful when they're doing their job. And of course they should be careful, but at the same time they should do their job 100% and not worry about the repercussions of doing their job.
Our
100%.
brave police officers are ostracized. They're under a microscope. I mean, you have these phone devices that's all over the place. What are they doing? At the end of the day, these liberal progressives, they say, oh, we have to defund the police or whatever the case may be. Laid off police officers. We don't need police officers. But when they're getting carjacked, who are the first people they're calling?
Yeah, they're not calling the Ghostbusters.
That's right.
It's 911, and then when the cops don't come there on time, they have a panic attack and start yelling at the cops, which the cops, they're not there to babysit you, You voted for, you get what you voted for, And they keep voting the same way, and some people, they just got tired of voting, so they just sit at home during election day, and then...
What Chicago needs is a mayor with a backbone.
Yeah.
This police council board is ridiculous. You have people on the police council board that is judging police officers, and they don't have no police officer experience whatsoever. Yeah. What is that about? And a lot of them are hate-filled anti-police officers, people. They just hate police officers for a living. For instance, one guy, thank God he didn't get elected, Perry Abbasi. Perry Abbasi is a lawyer, okay? He hates the police, but he wanted to be on the police council board. It's well known that he hates the police, Perry Abbasi. Thank God he didn't make it. And there's other people like that, too. We have progressive liberals that wants to get on the police council board to ostracize and put down the police officers, and they're doing a hell of a job. They're outmanned, they're outgunned, and the president of the FOP said that, hey, there's going to be 1,000 more police officers that's going to go elsewhere because they simply don't like this bozo as a mayor.
And actually, some police officers have left for other states.
Yeah.
Florida, Arizona.
Right.
And they've, they don't want to work in Chicago because they feel like the leadership doesn't have their backs, and maybe property taxes are going up. So they want to go somewhere cheaper, somewhere maybe where it's more of a red state or a red city where it's not so blue.
Sure.
And somewhere safe where they can,
and
where they can guarantee they're most likely going to go home to their family every night.
Yes.
And you talk about babysitting,
yeah.
Right? They have to babysit these illegals. At 25th Police District, there was a measles outbreak. A week ago, a week and a half ago. I mean, this is crazy. This is insane.
Yeah, they're at all the police stations, 24th, 20th,
right,
1st.
Yes.
And it's like the Democrats are bringing them in, so they need new voters. They're seeing their voters are fed up with them. They won't be voting for them anytime soon. So what do? They bring in new customers.
Exactly.
How
about these politicians opens the door to their houses for illegals? How about that?
Everyone with a Brandon Johnson sign outside your house, they should take 10 illegals and you babysit them, feed them, give them a place to sleep at.
There you go.
Instead of the police stations.
Absolutely.
I mean, America is a land of immigrants, but people should do it the right way. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to Americans or green card holders who did it the right way, or people who were born here,
Amen.
to have people coming to the border who.
On that note, we're going to break. Our number is 877-711-5611. 877-711-5611 on the Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. Thank you.
Sometimes you can smell the green if your mind is feeling fine. There ain't no finer place to be than running Lakeshore Drive. There's no peace of mind.
Producing your own podcast can be frustrating.
Test 1, 2.
Yeah. What's up, baby? He's gonna tell me that. Whatever.
Okay.
Which is why I'm glad to be introducing the brand new multi-format network. We offer digital media, podcasting, and radio broadcasting,
Yeah, you're very
professional
good.
standard
Yeah.
production, and
The way you
syndication.
talk is very.
Whether you're looking to
Aggressive,
bolster and
yeah.
polish your business
Very-
presentations for a Zoom
Flows very
interview,
naturally.
host your podcast, or push your nationally syndicated radio broadcast to a satellite, we can facilitate your every need. So when you're ready to look, sound, and be professional, don't just try to do it yourself. Contact the professionals at the new multi-format network, the Multi-Format Network. From professional syndication to personal vindication, we've got your back. Shoot us an email, mfngeneralmanager@gmail.com. mfngeneralmanager@gmail.com.
Hello, radio listeners. Welcome to WCGO 1590 AM or 95.9 FM. We have a new conservative show on the airwaves, and it's called Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. I'm your co-host, Pat Gibbons. That being said, I'm going to pass the mic on to my friend and co-host, Wally. Hey, Wally, what do you hear? What do you say?
Hey, how's everyone doing today? We're just going to talk about the future, about Chicago crime and the veterans in Chicago.
Tune in Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Conservative Talk Radio with Pat and Wally. Should be a great show. We look forward to your engagement. We'll be talking about safety issues in the city of Chicago, how our veterans need help and assistance, better needed care. And also, too, very importantly, we are going to talk about the Chicago mayor that needs to be called out. I'm Pat.
I'm Wally.
And this is Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. Tune in to Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk on Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. starting June 5th.
It is estimated that 1.5 million people are arrested for DUI every year in the United States. In Illinois alone, over 30,000 motorists are arrested for DUI. Driving under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, or drugs is one of the most complex of traffic charges on the books. Most people do not understand the complexities of the standardized field sobriety tests, which are horizontal gaze nystagmus, the walk and turn, and the one-leg stand test. Due to improper testing procedures, many people are wrongfully charged with DUI. Whether you have been charged with a DUI or an attorney handling DUI cases, the book DUIs Decoded explains the proper procedures for standardized field sobriety testing, breathalyzer testing, and the penalties in Illinois for driving under the influence.
Real estate, be it residential or commercial, is often a person's most significant and priciest asset. Entering into a contract to buy or sell a real estate property is much more than just filling in the missing blanks on the printed contract. It's wise to hire a lawyer to prepare or review the offer to purchase real estate and take full advantage of his legal expertise. With Mark Sheblow, you will gain an attorney with over 26 years of legal practice and one who has helped thousands of clients to buy or sell their homes or investment property. We will safeguard your interests and might be able to even negotiate a better bargain than a client without proper legal counsel ever could. Oftentimes, a prospective buyer will submit an offer without first consulting an attorney, not realizing that once the offer is accepted by the seller, it becomes a binding contract. And the terms of that contract are not easy to be changed afterwards. Likewise, as a seller, you too will benefit from first consulting an attorney before signing. Feel free to call us for consultation at the law offices of Mark Sheblo at 773-775-5050. Our website is sheblolawoffice.com. Mark Sheblo can be reached 6 days a week at 773-775-5050, Monday through Saturday, located at 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. That's attorney Mark Sheblo, 773-775-5050.
Wally's Conservative Talk. I'm your host, Pat Gibbons. Wally took the day off today. Hopefully he doesn't have measles from the 25th Police District that's going around. Hope not. Hope you're doing good, Wally. Hope I see you tomorrow. Al, what the hell is going on with this illegal migrant issue?
Yeah, they need new voters, you know. I think that's what it is. And they're seeing people that are fed up with their policies and putting American citizens last and illegals first, and that they shipped out, I think, about 500 plus to the South Shore, and they put them in a school that's been closed down, which that school, they could have used it. I don't know how long it's been closed down, but they could have used that school for a trade school and get these young men that are getting in trouble every day, get them into trade schools, start getting them to earn some money, and then, you know, they won't look towards causing trouble or getting into crime. They'll be busy working, making money. And I know our pipe system in Chicago needs some work. They got some lead in these pipes, so we need plumbers, electricians, carpenters. You know, there's a lot of jobs to do. I mean, the 90 expressway is going to take, 3-4 years to fix?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure if you get some people in trade schools, you can speed that up from 3-4 years to a year and a half. And it's like these Chicago politicians, they're known for just playing politics. I mean, Chicago is known worldwide as Crook County. So it's like you got to challenge these people, get them out of their jobs, you know, or their not even jobs, their careers that they've made politics as a career, you know, which they don't see how the average American or Chicagoan feels like going to the grocery store and you're paying all these high prices, going to the gas pump, you know. You might not like his tweets, but his gas prices were pretty good,
Yes.
you know. Some places you were getting gas under $2, and now you're going to get gas, it's $4.59, almost $5. And like if you notice, you go to the west side or the south side, they pay more for gas. It's like $5.50, almost $6 a gallon. And the people on the south and west side, they always vote Democrat. You know, they think Democrats is the democracy, but America's a republic. It's not a democracy. You know, so people, they gotta wake up and smell the coffee or keep looking at the weekly shootings. You know, 60 and 50 something. You know, and it's only gonna get worse. And it's 12-year-olds, 14-year-olds, younger kids getting shot and killed where they got no chance. You know, some of them, they won't make it to 21.
Well, see, I think more money should be pumped into the public school system. You know, there's money, but it's not being allocated. In my opinion, it's not being allocated correctly to all the different agencies. And I think there's, I believe in helping people. You know, and people should be helped coming to America, but there should be more focus on helping people that are homeless or people who are unemployed, people that are living here. You know, who grew up here, who are born here. They should be prioritized first than people, coming to the border. And, there's no accountability. And the roads should be fixed. The infrastructure should be fixed, but they're not. From what I see living in Chicago since the 90s, even before that, I've seen it deteriorate, that the roads, and it's not what it used to be. And I think that the money is going in the wrong places, and there's too much corruption in the system, from my opinion.
Going to the politicians' pockets.
Yeah.
It's going.
I mean, it could be right. Yes, it seems like it, and we need honest people that are honest. We don't need people who are taking advantage of people or
Yeah,
for
we
their
need
own
to
gain.
hold people accountable,
Yes.
because J.B. Pritzker, he just signed like the biggest budget, $50 billion. And I don't know where he's getting that money. Hopefully, it's going in his bank account, and he's gonna pull some out of his $1 billion bank account, donate it to the state of Illinois. And because I know around during COVID, as small businesses shut down, Hyatt Regency was open right next to McCormick Place where the hospital was, and all the doctors, nurses, they were all getting rooms in the Hyatt Regency. So that's paid off for him. And the old Cook County Hospital that was on Harrison, I believe,
Yes.
that's a Hyatt hotel right now. So
Okay.
it must be nice being a governor, because you get to pick and choose what closes down and what stays open. So we just got to hold these politicians accountable, and regular, ordinary people need to start running for office if they think they can dedicate hours and they can do the work. Don't just run because you want to be called a politician. Run because if you can do something that will actually affect goodness of people in Chicago and the state of Illinois itself. So
Right. Businesses are closing left and right. It's crazy. And then the crime is through the roof. That's why you have over 80,000 people in Chicago in the last 2 years that moving out. They don't want to be here. You can't blame them either. The north side is turning into the south side with the crime.
Yeah, I mean, Starbucks on Wabash and Roosevelt closed down. And like Starbucks, they can open and close wherever they want because they got plenty of money. But these small businesses like Ronnie's on, I believe it was Lake Street, it was open for 53 years. And it's like a staple in Chicago.
Yeah.
And that closed down during COVID. There's like hundreds, probably even thousands of small businesses that closed down. And Target, Walmart, they were open. And they weren't employing people. They were just putting in machines as cash registers. And the average citizen, we're not paid or we're not trained to go cash ourselves out of the automated cash register. That's not our job. We don't get paid to pay for our groceries. That's why you hire cashiers and baggers. And like with doing that, you're like taking away more jobs.
Yeah.
And it's been like about 300,000 jobs were lost in America through cashiers and stuff like that. So it might be even more,
Al, you said so intellectually that jobs are gone, crime is high, and you would think the average voter would look at that, but the average Democratic voter doesn't look at that. The progressive voter don't care about businesses closing down. They don't care about crime coming in Chicago. In fact, they enjoy the crime.
Yeah.
What they care about is offensive statues. Abraham Lincoln is offensive. Christopher Columbus is offensive to these liberal lunatics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact is, I come back to it again. We need a mayor that needs to have a backbone. A backbone. A guy that will stand up, will take no bullshit from, these criminals.
Yeah. Tyrants.
Right. And bring back the statue, specifically bring back the Christopher Columbus statue back in Regal Park. That's a shame.
Yeah.
I've done political work with a gentleman by the name of Franco Canati. Very good guy. And we wanted to bring back the statue. He's been out there for years, an activist, trying to bring back the statue to Regal Park. But due to politics and Lori Lightfoot, who is the biggest racist of them all.
Lori Lightweight.
There you go. Lightweight. Light feather. Tenderfoot. We have a bunch of nicknames for Lori Lightfoot.
Well, I think a lot of the politicians they get sucked into the system. Like maybe some mean to do well, they have good meaning, but the system's so corrupt that they get. It seems like they get, from my opinion, they get sucked into the corrupt system, and it's all about power and money, and people forget about the regular guy, the average Joe. Because it's when people get power, they forget about where they came from.
Right.
And so I think there should be more politicians that come from humble beginnings, blue collar jobs, that understand how it feels to be at the bottom. Because if you don't understand how it feels to be at the bottom, then how can you help those people when you have power? That doesn't seem,
or more entrepreneurs
Yes, yes.
in political office, because they create wealth, they create money,
Yes.
and these politicians, they sit in a job 10, 15 years, they get their paycheck guaranteed, they go muscle businesses for loading zone signs. They'll ask for $500,000 for their campaign,
Right.
for instead of giving the business the loading sign, 15-minute parking, where that business will grow in your community.
Yes.
And that business will grow. You'll create probably 2, 3, 5 more jobs, 10 more jobs out of that. But they're so petty, where they want that $500 or the $1,000, whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so greedy. So they need to be challenged, every single one of them. You got to put the pressure on them. If not, they'll be there till the day they die. They don't.
Exactly.
Everything is so politically correct that even the people at the top, they're scared to really say what they feel, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's why it's good to have outlets like this to tell the real truth.
Sure.
To expose things, because things are just too politically correct. People are just too scared to say to call it out like it really is.
Oh, liberals don't like the truth. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're called xenophobes. We're called racists all day,
Yeah,
all
all
night.
the
And you know
names.
what? That's okay. Call me all the
Yeah.
names you want, baby. I could take it.
Yeah.
In the 31st ward, there was an alderman by the name of Ray Suarez. He had such an ego, such a narcissist. He would actually write on his papers, Vice Mayor of Chicago. That's what he would brag about. And he was an actual bully. He would bully businesses to vote for him.
Yeah.
And if not, of course, he would, do things to the business, like whatever, to make their lives uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we had bully politicians. Suarez is a known bully.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of got one of his fellow friends in there, and that's how they work it out. Cardona, who's we have a caller. And that caller happens to be my co-host, Wally. Hey, Wally, what do you hear? What do you say? Well, we got our first caller in the first third week, huh? That's good. That's beautiful. Wally, what do you hear? What do you say?
Hey, how's it going? Hello, Chicago.
Hey, Wally. Are you getting better? I hope you're getting better. We miss you.
Yes, I am doing good.
Good.
Really good.
Very good. That's good. Well, we got Al here from the 3rd Ward, GOP Committeeman. And we
Hello,
got,
Al.
How you doing, Wally?
And we got John, United States Postal Worker.
Hello, John.
Hi, Wally.
Wally, throw us a question. Give us a question.
Well, this goes out to the mayor. He's a big malacca. And the postal workers are doing a great job. You guys should just carry a weapon or get a concealed carry, or get a postal police should, travel.
Is he still there? Are you still there, Wally? He's a victim of circumstance. What can I tell you? I guess Wally's gone. Hello? Well, that was Wally. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? Never a dull moment on this show. I gotta tell you.
You're crazy. Crazy, am I?
Well, that was Wally. That was our first call. Hopefully, it's not our last call on this show. Please call at 877-711-5611. 877-711-5611. All right. What were we talking about?
We were talking about politics.
Of course. Well, thanks, Wally, for throwing us off. Yes, in your area, Al.
Yeah.
In the 3rd Ward, a lot of crime, right? Carjackings.
Carjackings, shootings.
Okay.
Carjacking, shootings, shoplifting. You name it, it's there.
There you go.
And older woman, she's only there for turkey giveaways. So if it's Thanksgiving time, come around. You'll get yourself a free turkey. And other than that, she's just, I don't know. I've been in the area for about 15 years. I never seen her there, but I saw her the first day I was collecting signatures, so she was like kind of surprised. And I was actually surprised that I actually saw who she is. And she's been there since 2007. She ran for Secretary of State, failed. Ran for Congress, failed. So it was me and two other people. We ran for alderman, and she got us all off the ballot. So, yeah, but you know, it's not over for me. You know, that was the greatest thing she could have done for me, get me off the ballot, and it just motivates me more to get more involved, more engaged, and take action. You know, as we all should take action. If we don't want to see our city go down the toilet bowl.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have gotten complacent. A lot of voters, they don't want to vote. They feel like their vote doesn't matter. That nothing will happen, nothing will change. So people get complacent and just don't vote. That's what
And I'll tell the audience where you work. Generally speaking, you're
I drive the taxi cab,
right,
and I'm getting in the taxi cab business. And so I'm not campaigning every day, but I'm talking to people, and everybody they come from different states to go to the conventions at McCormick Place, Hyde Regency, and the first thing they ask, should we be afraid of the crime? And then I tell them just be aware, you know, the crime is everywhere, and they're shocked to hear that it's even in the downtown area.
Right.
But I tell them it's everywhere, so just be prepared. And a lot of these companies, they don't want to come back to Chicago for these conventions.
No.
And few of these conventions, they don't want to come back here and do their conventions because it's unsafe for their employees, the other companies that they bring. And like a few weeks ago, there was a convention with 42,000 people. You know, so those people, with Bozo Johnson in charge, you know, those people, they're gonna stop not coming. So what does that do? That kills like a lot of the hotels over there, even the governor's hotel, Hyatt. You know, he might start having some empty rooms. Like you've seen in San Francisco, there's I think it's a Hilton hotel with 1,050 rooms. They shut down permanently. So it's no coincidence when your city or your state is run by Democrats or liberal progressives. You see what's happening to these cities and these states. They're all deteriorating. And I'm not going to sit back and watch city of Chicago turn to Michigan, turn to Detroit, or turn to San Francisco, where it's going to be, you know, you can't walk. You got to keep looking on the floor in case you step in some dog poop or something. And we got like a homeless issue. We got 65,000 plus homeless people. They're harassing people, and the city of Chicago has plenty of vacant places where they can put these homeless people and get them help or do something for them, you know. But now they're like cleaning it up because they got NASCAR coming, so they don't want to show what's really going on in Chicago.
They're hiding them, yeah.
Oh, the word's getting out, Al.
Yeah.
The word's getting out.
Yeah, and people know. People aren't dumb. I mean, they might not be speaking about it, but people aren't dumb. You know, and soon people with money, they'll move out of here. They'll go to Florida, they'll go to red states. But people without money, the people that struggle, they're just going to get stuck here and deteriorate, you know. And if you sit back and wait for Chicago to turn to Detroit, you know, it's going to be a big problem.
Yep. That being said, we're going to commercial break. For the last time, want to call us? Our phone number is 877-711-5611. Thank you. On the Pat Wally's Conservative Talk.
It starts up north from Hollywood, water on the driving side, concrete mountains rearing up, throwing shadows just to fire.
Producing your own podcast can be frustrating.
Test. 1, 2.
Which is why I'm glad to be introducing the brand new multi-format network. We offer digital media, podcasting, and radio broadcasting professional standard production and syndication. Whether you're looking to bolster and polish your business presentations for a Zoom interview, host your podcast, or push your nationally syndicated radio broadcast to a satellite, we can facilitate your every need. So when you're ready to look, sound, and be professional, don't just try to do it yourself. Contact the professionals at the new multi-format network, the Multi-Format Network. From professional syndication to personal vindication, we've got your back. Shoot us an email, mfngeneralmanager@gmail.com. mfngeneralmanager@gmail.com.
Hello, radio listeners. Welcome to WCGO 1590 AM or 95.9 FM. We have a new conservative show on the airwaves, and it's called Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. I'm your co-host, Pat Gibbons. That being said, I'm going to pass the mic on to my friend and co-host, Wally. Hey, Wally, what do you hear? What do you say?
Hey, how's everyone doing today? We're just going to talk about the future about Chicago crime and the veterans in Chicago.
Tune in Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Conservative Talk Radio with Pat and Wally. Should be a great show. We look forward to your engagement. We'll be talking about safety issues in the city of Chicago, how our veterans need help and assistance, better needed care. And also, too, very importantly, we are going to talk about the Chicago mayor that needs to be called out. I'm Pat.
I'm Wally.
And this is Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk. Tune in to Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk on Mondays and Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., starting June 5th.
It is estimated that 1.5 million people are arrested for DUI every year in the United States. In Illinois alone, over 30,000 motorists are arrested for DUI. Driving under the influence of alcohol, marijuana, or drugs is one of the most complex of traffic charges on the books. Most people do not understand the complexities of the standardized field sobriety tests, which are horizontal gaze nystagmus, the walk and turn, and the one-leg stand test. Due to improper testing procedures, many people are wrongfully charged with DUI. Whether you have been charged with a DUI or an attorney handling DUI cases, the book DUIs Decoded explains the proper procedures for standardized field sobriety testing, breathalyzer testing, and the penalties in Illinois for driving under the influence.
Real estate, be it residential or commercial, is often a person's most significant and priciest asset. Entering into a contract to buy or sell a real estate property is much more than just filling in the missing blanks on the printed contract. It's wise to hire a lawyer to prepare or review the offer to purchase real estate and take full advantage of his legal expertise. With Mark Sheblow, you will gain an attorney with over 26 years of legal practice and one who has helped thousands of clients to buy or sell their homes or investment property. We will safeguard your interests and might be able to even negotiate a better bargain than a client without proper legal counsel ever could. Oftentimes, a prospective buyer will submit an offer without first consulting an attorney, not realizing that once the offer is accepted by the seller, it becomes a binding contract. And the terms of that contract are not easy to be changed afterwards. Likewise, as a seller, you too will benefit from first consulting an attorney before signing. Feel free to call us for consultation at the law offices of Mark Sheblow at 773-775-5050. Our website is sheblowlawoffice.com. Mark Sheblow can be reached 6 days a week at 773-775-5050, Monday through Saturday, located at 5945 North Elston Avenue in Chicago. That's attorney Mark Sheblow, 773-775-5050.
All right, we're back at the Pat and Wally's Conservative Talk on WCGO 1590 AM or 95.9 FM. Once again, our phone number, if you have any questions for our guests, is 877-711-5611. We broke the ice today. We had our first caller, who's my co-host, Wally. Evidently, he's doing good. Look forward to seeing him tomorrow. Al, the third ward. What's going on? What can we do to deter the crime in the third ward alone?
We got to protect the police. We got to stand behind the police, and citizens got to take action. You know, without you taking action, you know, the cops can't do it themselves. You know, as you see, the police get more in trouble for doing their job than the criminals get in trouble for doing crime. So you got to hold these politicians accountable. You got to call their offices, and you got to call them every day. Because like the alderman job, it's supposedly a part-time job, but it's actually a full-time job because That's all you got to do. You got a big ward that stretches out, and it stretches out from about Roosevelt in Michigan to Bronzeville, past the Bronzeville area, and like it's a lot of closed down stores over there, and closed down businesses. All it does is attract more crime, because it's there's nobody there. So what happens there? The homeless people come there. They sleep in the parks. They harass people, and they sleep on the sidewalk right in front of the businesses, and people, they'll stop coming to those businesses. And I mean, they might go to Starbucks, but they won't go to no local stores because local businesses, they'll be forced to shut down because the rent's high.
They're leaving for the suburbs.
They'll leave for the suburbs, or they'll leave to a neighborhood where it's cheaper rent and more business. So these politicians, they got no business sense in their head. They only got the muscle mentality. You want to open up a business, you gotta slide that envelope to them.
Go through all this red taping.
Yeah, red taping. Like the Starbucks, they shut down on Roosevelt and Wabash, and if Starbucks coffee isn't cheap, and they make money and they close down. So what do you think the small local coffee shops will do? They'll probably close down, and you don't give your businesses advantages to grow. Like say for example, a smaller restaurant that opens up in any ward, not just the South Loop or Third Ward, they don't got opportunity to grow because customers won't be coming in there. They'll be too scared of the crime. Even during the daytime, people are scared of the crime. Like people that go to the conventions, and I see it all the time because I'm driving the cab and I'm talking to people. I talk to thousands of people a month.
I bet.
And everybody's like scared. They ask me what's Chicago known for. I say pizza, hot dogs, and crime. So I'm like, people they don't want to visit, and once people stop visiting, those hotels are gonna get empty. Businesses are gonna start not making money. Like there was a bar on Michigan and 18th, Kroll's, and they shut down. It's like 10,000 square feet. So people in the neighborhood, that was a place to eat, and employed 10, 20 people, and people go there, eat, spend money. So you're generating money inside the ward, inside the city of Chicago, and not just the ward. And those people, they'll move out of the neighborhoods, a lot of vacant properties, so it's we're gonna be like Detroit, Michigan. You keep these people in office, and it'll be worse than Detroit, Michigan, because Chicago has more of like a visiting area, like a tourist type of vibe, or something like that, we can say. So
whenever a city is run by Democrats, the city goes down the crapper.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, and I'm like around, like I can't say it too much. The last three mayors, from Rahm Emanuel to Lightweight and Johnson, it's only gonna get lower and lower. I mean, Daley, he was a Democrat, but Daley kept the streets clean. Graffiti blasters were out there blasting the graffiti, and
there's a lot of Republicans in Chicago and Cook County, but they're
they're scared
afraid
to run.
vote. Yeah,
they're afraid to vote.
They're hiding, but they're out there,
Silent majority.
Silent majority, yes.
We gotta get these folks to vote.
Yeah, and we had like a 33% turnout on the mayor election. And from what I heard,
we had two bozos on the ballot. No one.
And from what I heard, I was driving around in the taxi, where you get all the information from the local people and visitors. So I went by the Hyatt Regency where Paul Vallis had his party, and about 5-6 people I gave rides to, they said Bozo Johnson was busing kids from high school or these other schools to go vote for him. So if he didn't do that, we would probably have 20% voting, So people, they got to go out there and vote, You pay the high taxes, you pay, I don't know if you like paying for the high taxes for the crime or for the corruption, but
Well, they're not fixing the infrastructure. That's for
Yeah.
sure. The roads are terrible.
know,
It's like driving
potholes.
on the moon.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it seems like you're driving, potholes everywhere.
I know.
You know,
I had 3 flat tires coming over here today.
it's unbelievable. It's ridiculous. I mean, you think they would have fixed that in the last 20 years, but they
Yeah.
really haven't done much of anything. I mean, from what I see.
Yeah, conservatives got to go out and vote. I mean, you might not like the Republican Party,
Yeah.
but even if you're a Democrat or you got conservative values or even just common sense, you don't got to be a Democrat or Republican to have common sense. You just got to go out there and vote, And there's plenty of people that run for these positions where they're people that you can hold accountable. There are people that they'll do the job. It's not like Alderman Burke was there for 50 years. 50 years. He's been there longer than I've been alive.
What did he do?
He was an alderman.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I don't know what he actually did.
I don't know. He got rich.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
and
his
it's
bank
like
account. Yeah,
it's like people. You got to get up and challenge these people. It's your country too. Stand up for something, or you'll fall for anything.
Amen. I'm gonna ask you a direct question.
All right.
Are you gonna run for alderman again?
Yeah, I'm gonna run for alderman again.
Oh my goodness! That's what I'm talking about.
This time I'll be more prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start. Like last time I started was 10 days before I had to turn in my signatures, and I did pretty well, I'd say.
And you were going against a progressive lunatic?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
been there.
Yeah.
She's been there since 2007.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, she ran for Secretary of State. She failed.
Mm-hmm.
Congress, she failed. And so, I'll be running again. This time I'll start early. That way I'll get, last time I had 700 signatures. This time I plan on getting thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people that seen me getting the signatures, they were, they were happy that somebody's coming out and challenging her, because they're like sick and tired of her, like not doing stuff in the area, and she was focusing on one side of the neighborhood where that's your job. You're for the third ward. You gotta focus on the whole area, not just one side of the area. And like if you go Michigan and 25th and you go south, there's like a lot of vacant property over there, and you can bring a lot of businesses, local businesses over there. It doesn't got to be Starbucks. It could be black-owned businesses, You start them over there, and then they'll grow to be bigger than Starbucks, and they'll employ, since everything's about race now, they can employ black, African-American people or minorities, brown-colored, pink-colored, whatever color you want to call people.
Green,
And then you grow your business from there, and then you'll start your business in Chicago, and then 10, 15, 20 years from now, it'll be known all over the world, but you started in Chicago, and this is a beautiful city to start from.
Yes.
It's true. Al, you're going to come back on this show.
Yeah, for sure.
And John, you too, you're going to come back on this show.
Thank you.
It's been great. Tomorrow, we have special guest, Sue Ramovsky, a retired police officer, a realtor currently. Thank you for joining us at the Pat Wally Conservative Talk today. If you have any questions, call us. Wally, thanks for calling. You broke the ice. Being said, you guys take care. God bless.
WCGO 1590 AM, W240EH 95.9 FM, Evanston, Chicago.